What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Sunday, June 14th, 2026, and I have an emergency alert to share with you guys. Right now it is 1500 Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from the Middle East. So it looks like yet again the peace deal between Iran and the U.S. has been sabotaged, and this is all because Israel struck Beirut, one of Beirut's southern suburbs, in response to Hezbollah attacks on northern Israel last night, marking the first such strike since last Sunday. Okay, so this is very, very serious. And what you're looking at here is the airspace over Iran, and you can see it has been completely cleared out. And we are now hearing that Iran has moved their missile launchers, and Israel is preparing for an Iranian retaliation. Okay, so Iran believes that Lebanon is like part of their territory. So every time Israel strikes Lebanon, specifically around Beirut, they start striking Hezbollah targets, then Iran treats that as their own territory being attacked. Okay, so Iran said that they're going to strike Israel in the coming hours, and when that happens, I will go live and cover the situation live, so make sure you have your notifications turned on everywhere. And make sure you download my free app so I can notify you when this is all going down. And we're hearing that Israeli forces targeted a Hezbollah communications system in the southern suburbs of Beirut. And the secretary of the Supreme National Security Council of Iran says following Israel's attack in Beirut, the response of the warriors of Islam is forthcoming. Lebanon is our lifeblood, and any violation of the red lines of the Islamic Republic will not be tolerated. Okay, so Iran has said before that Israel striking Beirut or the suburbs of Beirut or having military operations in southern Lebanon is one of Iran's red lines. Okay, so they are preparing a strike now. And Trump said that he has been asking Iran not to launch a retaliatory strike at Israel, adding that the agreement will be signed in the coming hours. Trump told Israel's Channel 12 that he passed a message to Netanyahu saying he was, quote unquote, very unhappy with Israel's strike in Beirut, which he said came shortly before the expected signing of the Iran agreement. So Trump basically cursed out Netanyahu. He said, quote, "Why did Bibi do this attack?" According to Barak Ravid of Axios, Hezbollah fired and hit the middle of nowhere. No one was hurt, and then he had to do this effing attack. And in Beirut, it made me very angry, Trump said. He received a call saying Israel was attacking Beirut an hour before we were supposed to sign the agreement. So Trump reportedly extremely mad at Netanyahu and cursed out Netanyahu. He also said, "I couldn't believe this was happening. This is very bad." Trump also said Netanyahu showed no effing judgment and said he had made clear to him that he was very unhappy. Despite the delay, Trump said he still believes the Iran agreement is good for Israel, saying it would ensure Iran does not obtain a nuclear weapon, allow visits to suspicious Iranian sites within 24 hours' notice, and eliminate Iran's enriched uranium stockpile. Trump said the agreement was supposed to be signed this morning, but was delayed by the Israeli strike in Beirut. So, very, very predictable situation. I told you guys this was going to happen. I had a feeling that there wasn't going to be any peace. Let me just read to you what Trump posted on his Truth Social about this. This morning's attack on Beirut should not have happened, particularly on a special day when we are so close to a peace deal with Iran. Israel has the right to defend itself against threats, but the attack it was responding to was very small and meaningless. Nobody was hurt, injured, or killed, and should not disrupt this important process. We are very close to a deal that will bring peace to the region, including to Lebanon, and all sides should stand down. There should be no more attacks by Israel anywhere in Lebanon, but there should also be no more attacks by any other party, including Hezbollah, against Israel. This could be the beginning of a long and beautiful peace. Let's not blow it. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Okay, so Trump trying to be the world's peacemaker, and the Bible talks about this, guys. The world's peacemaker ends up being the Antichrist. Now, I'm not saying Trump is the Antichrist, but isn't it crazy how Trump is trying to really push for peace at all costs, no matter what, in the Middle East? But yeah, Trump very pissed off, cursed out Netanyahu. And Israeli intelligence assessments warn of a significant possibility of an Iranian missile strike on Israel. We're hearing also the Israeli military is preparing for possible strikes towards Israel in the coming hours. And Israeli Channel 12 is reporting that the U.S. has offered Iran economic benefits in exchange to not retaliate for Israel's attack in Beirut. Okay, so I heard they offered Iran like $25 billion not to strike. We're now hearing that Iran rejected Trump's offer for money in exchange for restraint, saying they will respond soon. Okay, so I'm hearing sometime in the coming hours. And the U.S. is working to persuade Iran to avoid or limit any attack to contain the crisis, while also pressing Israel not to retaliate if Iran retaliates. And Trump recently pushed Netanyahu to order a withdrawal of Israeli forces from southern Lebanon and Syrian territory occupied since 2024 as part of the Iran deal, and Netanyahu rejected Trump's demands. So there you have it. And a senior Israeli official told News 12 in Israel that today's strikes on Beirut's Dahiyeh southern suburbs was carried out with the expectation that Iran would respond. And an Israeli official accuses Trump of normalizing fire at Israel. And a senior Israeli cabinet minister told Israeli Channel 12 that as far as we are concerned, Iran is Trump's issue and he has the right to pursue an agreement, but Lebanon is ours. We must not agree to the Iranian equation, even at the cost of a severe confrontation with the U.S. So it looks like the relationship between Netanyahu and Trump is breaking down. A lot of people in Israel are not happy with Trump. And a senior Israeli official told Israeli Channel 12 that Trump's Truth Social post is a resounding slap in the face. The restrictions have gone up a level. The expectation that Israel will not strike anywhere in Lebanon does not align with the narrative of a strategic ally. Okay, so Trump wants his cake and eat it too. He wants to say that he's the greatest ally of Israel, but then he's going to sell them out and make this deal, you know, and basically neuter Israel's capability to respond to attacks. Okay. And this update was sponsored by EMP Shield. Guys, EMP Shield has created a special discount just for you, the listeners of the NYPrepper channel. If you go to empshield.com and use the promo code NYPrepper, you can get 15% off your entire order. And why do you need an EMP Shield? Well, this is a special device to protect your vehicle, your RV, your solar generators, your radios from an electromagnetic pulse, which could be caused by a solar flare or potentially a rogue country like North Korea detonating an electromagnetic pulse weapon over the United States that's mounted onto a satellite. So protect your vehicles, protect your RV, protect your radios, protect your generators with an EMP shield. Use my promo code NYPrepper to get 15% off. Installation is super simple. This is a veteran-owned business, 100% American-made, and the EMP shields have been tested by the military, okay? And free shipping is included to the entire continental United States. And the link and the promo code are in the description below this video. And we're hearing that the U.S. agreed in the draft memorandum for Iran to dilute its highly enriched uranium stockpile inside Iran, with the mechanism to be discussed over the next 60 days. So this was confirmed by Reuters and stated by a senior Iranian official. So it's not going to happen instantly. Even if they sign this memorandum, the way it's set up is that, you know, a lot of these clauses in this agreement are going to be discussed about over 30 days or 60 days. So technically, Iran is not even truly agreeing to anything. They're agreeing to discuss diluting the uranium stockpile, but they're not exactly agreeing to dilute it, okay? And under the draft memorandum, Iran will immediately reopen the Strait of Hormuz to all commercial vessels, while the U.S. will lift its naval blockade. This is what a senior Iranian official told Reuters. Also, the U.S. will waive oil sanctions on Iran for a specified period, allowing Iran to sell oil and receive revenues. And also, a senior Iranian official told Reuters that the U.S. agrees to release $25 billion of Iran's frozen assets under the draft memorandum via direct cash transfers, regional cooperation, and financial credit lines. So Iran has a lot of demands here, okay? And Iran's Fars News is reporting that lifting maritime and commercial restrictions on Iran's vessels is listed as one of the main pillars of the proposed agreement. We're also hearing that Iran is actively consulting with Russia and China on the text of the agreement. And an informed source says Iran has not yet made a final decision even on the proposed agreement, okay? And Israel will not be bound by a potential Iran deal, but must coordinate with the U.S., a senior diplomatic source told Israel Hayom. So Israel's basically at the point where they don't care if the U.S. makes an agreement or not. They're going to do what they need to do to defend their people. And an Israeli official says the U.S.-Iran agreement is not the end of the game. And an Iranian foreign ministry spokesperson says foreign military bases and the presence of foreign forces in the region must come to an end as part of the peace deal. Also, Iran's foreign ministry spokesman said the country's negotiating team is not planning to visit Pakistan or Geneva in the next few days. So that's conflicting with what the U.S. said, that they're going to be heading to Geneva to sign this agreement today on Trump's 80th birthday. It doesn't look like that's going to happen, okay? A senior Israeli official told Israeli Channel 12 that the emerging U.S.-Iran deal reflects Washington accepting Iran's main conditions and could endanger Israel's security interests. They said it would immediately lead to the opening of the Strait of Hormuz and strengthen the Iranian regime. Officials also warned that key issues, including missiles and proxy support, are not addressed. Okay, so this is the big issue, is that we're going to lift all the sanctions on Iran, on their oil and everything, and that's going to help to fuel their war machine, okay, because they're going to be able to continue to sell their oil on the global market, which they're not allowed to do now. Okay, so that's a major issue. So even if there's peace for, let's say, 2-3 years, what Iran is going to do is they're just going to rebuild all their weaponry and rebuild their military and secretly build nuclear weapons, and then they're going to attack Israel again in a couple of years. And a senior Israeli official told Israeli Channel 12 that this is a quote-unquote shitty agreement. Wow. Okay, so Israel's not happy with Trump A lot of Israelis that used to support Trump have now turned away from him. A lot of prominent public figures in Israel, social media characters like Amir Sarfati. I'm sure a lot of you guys know who he is. He's a Christian that lives in Israel. I think he's also part Jewish. I'm not sure, but he used to be pro-Trump, and now he's anti-Trump on this particular issue with Israel because he sees that Trump is basically selling Israel out. And Trump told Putin today in a phone call that ending the war in Ukraine was essential and that he stood ready to assist, while also informing Putin that a deal to end the conflict with Iran was nearly finalized. And the Ukrainian president spoke with Trump today on the phone as well, according to a presidential advisor. And Ukraine launched 300 drones into Russia last night. And we're hearing that the Ukrainian drones hit some oil depots, including in Rybinsk. Also, a Ukrainian drone struck a high-rise residential building in Russia's Aryal region. And Swiss voters are projected to have rejected a referendum to cap the national population at 10 million by 2050, according to national broadcaster SRF. Preliminary results show 55% of voters opposed the measure. Wow, so that would be what the elites wanted. You know, these elites, they have this sick fantasy of limiting population and capping population, reducing population. They see people, you know, everyday people like us as, you know, pests, essentially, that are consuming their resources. So they want to reduce the human population, but looks like the people of Switzerland have given them the big middle finger. And a U.S. Marine Corps F-18 Hornet crashed during a routine training flight near Rimrock Lake in Washington State on Saturday. The pilot safely ejected, suffering minor injuries, and was taken to a hospital. But that's the latest breaking news that I have. I hope you're having a great Sunday afternoon, and I will go live when Iran strikes Israel in the coming hours. And until the next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere. And before I continue with the breaking news, I wanted to mention the sponsor for this update, which is Matt Hat Jerky. Guys, if you're a beef jerky lover like myself, you got to try Matt Hat Jerky. This is the best beef jerky I've ever had. I personally met the owner of this company at SHOT Show, and he's actually local to Pennsylvania. This company has an interesting story behind it. He founded this company when he was 11 years old. Yeah, that's right, 11 years old. He's now 19, and he makes gourmet beef jerky, the best jerky I've ever had. He's got over a dozen different flavors, and it's all sourced with U.S. beef, so no foreign beef, no nitrates, and no MSG. So it's all natural American beef jerky. And if you use my promo code NYPrepper, you can get 15% off your entire order. And you got to go to matthatjerky.com, and I'm going to leave a link in the description down below. That's matthatjerky.com, one word, matthatjerky.com. Use my promo code NYPrepper to get 15% off your entire order, and the link and the promo code are in the description down below.